Okay, so we're working on the door bars, and these are going to be swing out removable style of bar. So we've got to put hinges on the two pieces that we've cut away, and I use these clamps. I think I may have already mentioned that I use these clamps to kind of hold things in place. It's just an easy way to do it. And thinking about how I want these to work, you know, if you depends how you rotate this bar as to where it pivots. If you have it with the pin, you know, almost vertical, then they're going to come out like this. If you turn them 45 degrees, you know, then it's going to come like this, which I don't want to do because that gets into the window glass. So ideally, what I've decided, I think, is I'm going to put them in with the hinge pins basically horizontal to the chassis, and my bars are basically just going to hinge straight down and just lie in place right there. They'll be out of the way and straight back up again. So what we've got to do now, I already have one of the tubes bushings installed in this piece of tubing. Now we have to go and put the other one in on the other end for the pin that goes up here. And it's important, relatively important, that both of these be on the same vertical axis, we'll say. I don't want this one here and that one down there on an angle. So I'll use the mill to get these kind of lined up. I'll knock that hole in the other end. Just takes a 3/4 inch hole, goes through here, and we'll get that marked and measured, and we'll get this other pin installed, and we'll put some tack welds on it. I haven't welded this one up. I got to take it out and actually clean the inside of the tube up and stuff, and then we'll tack weld that in place. And yeah, we'll do the same thing on the other end, and then we'll work on attaching the hinges to the tubes that are already on the cage. So that's next. Okay, so we've got the lower mounting brackets kind of clamped in place, and I'm just going to check and make sure that the range of motion is what we want, and it looks good. I'm going to pull the clamp down here to hold that bar. I'm just going to get that a little bit closer. About a 1/8 gap or 3/16 or so on here is good if you can get it. Of course it doesn't want to. Okay. So now it's got rotated, so that's no good. Now it wants to fall down inside the car. It can't do that. It's got to fall like that. Straight down on top of that one. Alright. Straight down on top of that one. So, I think what I'm going to do is just tack this one in real quick, and just tack this in place, double check everything once more before I final weld it, and see how it goes. Okay, with that tacked in, let's see how we're looking here. Oh yeah, it looks good. This bracket, yep, tube's aligned good. So now I can figure out the top bracket, where the hole has to go, and where the bracket goes on here. is it. We have a 3/4 inch hole drilled in our bar that this is going to fit down into. With any luck, I'll just deburr that, clean it up a little bit, and we should be ready to mount that. So there's the hole. We'll just see if we can knock the burrs off of that real quick. Use my correct hand. Do the inside while we're at it. These little handy burring tools are really handy. Even if you don't do a lot of machine work and stuff, they're really handy for taking the edges off of anything. Like the other day I made a little piece of plastic for a tape gun and worked perfect for taking rough edges off that I had melted while I was making the plastic part. So there's still a little bit of mungus in there. We'll take that out with a wire brush. But anyway, that's it. And then with any luck, this should go, yeah, through there and through the other side. Away we go. So I'm going to clean the inside of that up. We'll get the pin in, we'll weld it in and fit it flush, and then we'll tack the brackets on the cage and away we go. One side done. Okay, well, we've got the end of this tube cleaned out. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but I got it nice and cleaned out, and I washed it with some isopropyl alcohol so it's nice and clean for welding. You don't technically need it that clean for MIG welding, but if you're going to do it, might as well do it all the way, right? So now we got to put the pin in it, and I know the pin, yeah, it always goes in better from the side, the top side. And just get it roughly equal, sticking through on both sides, so I got about the same amount of grinding on both sides. And so the next thing to do will be to tack weld this in place. So I guess the first thing we need to do is ground it. And I think I'll just lean it up against the lift. Maybe use the clamp for some support. There we go. There, that's better. Okay. And then tack that baby in. You don't need much on those pins, just to keep them basically from falling out. There's no stress on the joint, so. Done like dinner. So now, take it outside and we'll grind it up, and I'll show you what that looks like when I come back. Okay, we've got our tube made. We've got the sleeve welded in and ground flush both ends, and now we're going to fit it, and then we'll fit the brackets. Okay. bolt. Okay, we've got this quick release pin, which I'm not sure I'm going to end up using. Mostly because I don't know if I'm going to have clearance on the door for it. But let's see. Okay, it's just going to sit in there like so. And I'll clamp that in place and just tack it in, kind of the same thing we did on the bottom one, and we should be good to go. Okay, well, I'm going to end this video here, and as you may have noticed, the transmission tunnel and a bunch of sheet metal is in the car, so I'm giving you these construction things kind of out of sequence of how they actually happened, but the next video, or maybe two, are going to be about how I made the wheel tubs, how I did the tunnel, and that sort of stuff, and I'm not going to go into like excessive detail. It was the first time I've done any of that stuff, and it did take me a long time, but I'll try and make the videos, 10-15 minutes or something like that. So anyway, I just want to say thanks very much for watching. Thanks to everybody who has subscribed. I appreciate the comments. Please keep them coming. And we'll see you on the next one, hopefully in a week or so. Thanks. Bye for now.